We're going to review how to solve ratio problems. So I Googled pounds in a kilogram, and I found out that 100 kilograms is equivalent to about 220 pounds. So going to my whiteboard, I'm going to write that so we don't forget. 100 kilograms is approximately, the symbol for approximately is an equal sign, but it's wavy. Approximately 220 pounds, and the abbreviation for pounds is LBS. The easiest way to solve a ratio problem is with a table, in my opinion. A double number line is also a good way. The problem with the double number line is not every value can be found on the number line, but in a table you can come up with you can generate any value you want. So we're going to let the left side be kilograms, the right side be pounds. So starting with my problem, it says 100 kilograms is 220 pounds. Now you can take these two numbers and you can multiply them both by anything you want. For example, if I were to double the two sides, I would find out that 200 kilograms is the same as 440 pounds. And we got that by multiplying both sides by 2. Okay, so that's one way to generate a different ratio that's equivalent. I'm going to erase this side though because it's going to get confusing. Oops. Okay, let me erase this. Okay. But it may be, you can also, just like I multiplied by 2 on those sides, you can also divide. I'm going to take the first row and I'm going to think, okay, what happens if I take half of those amounts? Half of those amounts means I'm dividing by 2. And in a ratio table, you can either divide or multiply by any number you want as long as you do the same thing to both sides of the table. So half of 100 is 50. 100 divided by 2 is 50. And 220 divided by 2 is 110. So 110 pounds is about the weight of some sixth graders. So that would be about 50 kilograms. So if someone asks you what you weigh, you say, I weigh 50. And they say, you do not. Yes, I do. I weigh 50 kilograms. Okay. Not the same thing as pounds. In fact, kilograms are used a lot in other countries. I'm going to scale this back again. I noticed that 50 is divisible by 5. So I'm going to try dividing both sides by 5 and see if I can get another equivalent ratio. 50 divided by 5 is 10. And 110 divided by 5 is 22. So I'm scaling this down quite a bit. So now I'm going to scale it all the way down to a unit rate. A unit rate means how much for 1. So we're going to see how many pounds are in 1 kilogram. So I look at my previous row and I see that it was 10. I think about what I have to do to 10 to get 1. I would have to divide because it's getting smaller. And I would divide by, think about that, would be 10. If you divide the left side of the table by 10, you also divide the right side by 10. 22 divided by 10 is 2.2. You are allowed to use calculators for this unit, but remember that dividing by 10 is the same thing as moving the decimal. So this is a unit rate. 1 kilogram is approximately 2.2 pounds. I've always heard that 1 kilogram is about the size of a small rabbit. So if you think about a small bunny, not maybe a baby bunny, but just a small bunny, it would be about 2.2 pounds. So that makes sense. The good thing about a unit rate is once you have it, you can scale back up. So let's say I heard of someone who weighed 75 kilograms, and I want to figure out how many pounds that would be. So I look at my left side and I see that this number is being scaled up. So it's being multiplied by something. And I'm asking myself what it's being multiplied by. 1 times what number is 75? Well, that would be 75 times greater. So this is multiplied by 75. Whoops. And if you multiply that side by 75, you also multiply this by 75. 2.2 times 75. Let me get the calculator out here. And it looks like it's about 165 pounds. So if someone came to me and said, I weigh 75, I would say, you do not weigh 75. They say, I weigh 75 kilograms. So then I would go to my calculator and I would figure this out. And I would say, oh, they really weigh 165 pounds. Okay, so that's how you can work that out. Hope this helps with today's assignments.